versus China, the #1 seed against the #12 seed. And then it will be the women's doubles, women's singles, and make sure you stay with us because the men's doubles, all Indonesia, will be a real belter of a match. There's a really exciting game going on court 2 at the moment, because Indonesia have just leveled that at 1 game each. It's an all-China semi-final on the other side of the pool as Wei Nan and Huang about to do battle on court #1. Wei Nan having to work really hard in his quarter-final to make it to this stage, eventually getting a victory over the Thai player. Crowd continues to build up inside the Jidung Dome here in Balikpapan. It is going to be the men's singles. Wei Nan versus Huang Yuxiang. Just waiting for the officials and the players to make their way out onto the court. Announcements just about to be made.
Please welcome the technical officials.
So first will be the officials to make their way onto the court. A lot of these players actually participated in this tournament last year. They'll be looking to make it count in 2016.
The umpire for the match, Indonesia.
Just acknowledging the crowd is Buddy Santosa from Indonesia, and also Abdul Latif Jadhari, also from Indonesia. They'll be the officials for this match.
And on the other side, from China.
So Wei Nan makes his way onto the court. No ripple of applause. All the attention at the moment on court 2, but Huang Yuxiang now makes his way onto the court as well. You'd expect a little bit of rivalry between these two. Hong Kong versus China. It's the handshakes. And then the toss of the coin. Looks like Wei Nan will be the one to call. There was a little bit of confusion there for a second. Wei Nan just querying whether he won the toss or not. There's a bit of strapping on his right knee. Very little downtime for these top-level players. Wei Nan, born in Hong Kong, 188 centimetres, age 32, and ranked number 23 in the world. He's very much the experienced campaigner, whereas the man across the net from him is far more inexperienced. The quarter-final was the toughest match for Wei Nan. Took him just over an hour to book his place in the semi-final. Otherwise, it was a fairly efficient performance, beating 2 Indonesians and a Malaysian on his way to the semi-final. He's seeded #1, so would have been expected to get through to this stage. Just dropped the 1 game throughout the tournament. We turn our attention now to Huang Yuxiang. born in Hangzhou, 23 years old and ranked 44 in the world. So 180 centimeters, giving away 8 centimeters in height. Far more stockier build. He's had a much easier quarter-final, just 36 minutes. His toughest game came against Pranoy in round 3, where it took him just over an hour and 7 minutes to book his place in the quarter-final. Again, he's played Thai players, Indian players. So, a mixture of players. If we compare their record now head-to-head, and Wei Nan has actually, they've played each other 3 times, and Wei Nan has won 2 of those, although it was actually the last meeting earlier this year at the Victor Far East Malaysia Masters, where the younger man, Huang Yuxiang, was victorious. So maybe there's a little bit of a shift in the ascendancy. We'll have to wait and see. It will be a very big win if Huang can win this particular match. It's ranked 12 at the moment, against Wei Nan being ranked number 1. That's coming into this tournament. Wei Nan very much the favourite, but Huang Yuxiang is a name to start remembering. This year he's played 25 matches, won 19 and lost just 6, whereas the man on screen, Wei Nan, in 2016 he's played 27, won 18 and lost 11. So played 2 games more, but lost 5 more games than his opponent. If we look at their overall records, Wei Nan has played over 224 matches by comparison to that man Wong, who's only played 77. Wei Nan finally gets on the board. The help of the net cord. Wei Nan just shifting Wong around the court, and good judgment sees that one just in, actually, so a bit of surprise, I think. Wei Nan thought it was going long. Did say there is a bit of a breeze at that end of the court. So 4-1. And that dropped in as well. Leaves it again. Drops well inside. To a 6-1 lead. Just a little bit flat-footed at the moment. And that was just too wide from Wong. So Wei Nan back on the board finally. 2-1. Looked very close to the line, actually, from the replay. That's called wide as well. So Wei Nan goes to 3. Huang's returns in that rally was so high. I'm sat high up inside the Jidong Dome. It almost came up to past my eye level. The experience of Wei Nan pulling back in this match. And it gets to 4-6. A very well struck return from Wong to reclaim serve. 7-4 in favour of the Chinese player. Service goes back to Wei Nan. Just unable to get any racket on that. Emphatically wins the serve back. 8-5 in favour of Huang Yuxiang. And that is some return from the net from Wei Nan. Wong could just watch it whistle past. Tight angle and just a flick of the wrist. Comes with years of experience. To the net though, and Wong wins back serve. 9 plays 6. Is a great shot from Huang, who'd been worked from one side of the court, back and front. And takes the chance when it comes his way. 10 plays 6. Brilliant again from the young player. Huang Yuxiang really making Wei Nan work at the net. Had him at full stretch there, drop shot, which Wei Nan did well to get to. Just reaching across, Wong taking the point. As they go into the break, it's 11 points to 6 in favour of the 23-year-old. Good at the moment. Ranked 44, his best is 38, which was in June earlier this year. Wei Nan on screen. His highest ranking was in 13 in April of this year and has dropped to 23 now.
Ini mohon perhatiannya kepada para penonton. Dimohon tidak menggunakan lampu blitz atau lampu kamera.
One to serve and to the body, and Wei Nan unable to cope with that. 12 plays 6. Again, just the power and the pace in the return from Wong, too much. 5th point in a row. Make that 6 points, 14 plays 6. I do feel Wei Nan needs to find some points quickly. We may see this first game just going away from him. Letting that one go, and it drops out of the court again. 15 plays 6. Need to say that Huang Yuxiang is mixing his game up well. Wei Nan just taking a few seconds on the side of the court as the shuttle was changed. As much about himself off as also gathering his thoughts. And that's better from Wei Nan. Finally gets a point and gets service. 7 plays 15. Almost 6 consecutive points. Be hoping to gain a few now on serve. Judged again at the back of the court. Watching Wei Nan. So he just decided, I'm not going to get to that. He just holds up, whether he's carrying an injury or not. Just the way he just held himself up. And that's the 3rd shot in that area that he's misjudged. 17 plays 7. Wong edges closer to playing in the first game. To get underneath that and get it over the net. Frustrated with himself. 8 plays 17. And serves deep. Goes against him. Just dropped in on the line. Good call by the line judge. And responds and serve back straight away, trailing by 9 points. Called good as well. So once more, Wei Nan just misjudging at the back of the court. Letting that one go, and it just dropped in. On the line. Again, he fights back to win serve.
Service over. 10.
10 plays 19. First semi-final of the men's tournament at the Sunrise Indonesian Masters 2016. Wei Nan, number 1 seed, closes the gap. 11-19. That's too long. So it's game point on serve for Huang Yuxiang. Just quickly turning his head to make sure it did drop out of the court. To the net from Wei Nan, and that concludes the first game, and it is a victory to China's Huang Yuxiang, 21-11. Just wonder whether Wei Nan can lift in the second game. He could find himself missing out on a final. Fairly easy run up until his quarter-final. 16 minutes it's taken Wong to win that. And Wong again had a fairly easy run, his toughest match coming in the third round. And he was stretched to 3 games. Wonder whether the misjudgment is anything to do with the slight breeze at that far end of the court, or whether it is Wei Nan's knee that's just preventing him. He's got his right knee strapped, and I just wonder whether when the ones he's misjudged on the left-hand side, obviously having to push off that right knee to turn to play those shots, and that could be impacting his movement slightly. The match in the women's doubles continues on court number 2, and 1 game apiece. Thailand have game and match point 20-18 in the third game. Serve though with Indonesia. Let's back to our attention on court 1 with Wong, who took the first game serving. Takes the first point. Far too long. And into the net it goes.
Low.
And goes into a 2-love lead. Huang, well aware that the connection he got wasn't good enough, surrenders the point. That drops out, so for the first time in this match, Nan has levelled up the scores. Led at any point so far, the man seeded number 1. He has now.
3-2.
I can tell you that Thailand were victorious in the end on court number 1. 2 rather.
4-2.
moves into a 5-2 lead. Revitalised after that first game. It's a new shuttle. Wang just making him wait before he's ready. Wei Nan moving a lot more freely in this second game. Really attacking the net. And that is a really deft touch from Huang Yuxiang to regain serve. 3-6. Just disguised it so well. Wei Nan at full stretch couldn't get anything on it. Looks as if something distracted him high up. That was superb from Wei Nan. Forced the shot to the back of the court, got back really quickly, and then jumps and smashes it across the court to regain his serve. And leading 7-4. Now, again, moving into the net at speed. Knew that Wong could only just, at full stretch, just hope to lift that over the net. And then he came in to kill the point. 8 plays for Wei Nan to serve. Same again, it was the high return to the back of the court. Wei Nan getting in position early. And then the pace and the angle preventing Wong from getting it back in play. Show of emotion too from Wei Nan. Point close to the net. 10-4. He's really come alive in this second game. Another good smash.
11-4.
Jesus, going into the break in this second game, 11-4 in favour of Wei Nan. Again, just these high overheads, just getting the angle so good, round the ankles of Huang Yuxiang. Different approaches from the coaches. Huang Yuxiang's coach, very, very calm. Slightly more animated is Wei Nan's coach.
20 seconds.
Wei Nan started playing badminton age 6 in school in Fujian. Started taking it seriously at the age of 14.
11-4. 3.
His debut at the Malaysian Indonesian Open Grand Prix in 2010, 6 years ago. Claims the first point after the break. Again, it's a strong overhead smash.
Dimohon tidak menggunakan lampu blitz atau lampu kamera. Jika masih ada yang menggunakan lampu blitz atau lampu kamera, kepada para petugas mohon.
Wong finally gets a point after 5 consecutive points going the way of his opponent. Wei Nan, though, it's his shots before the point he's putting it away. It's the set-up shot that's forcing the high return to allow him to smash. That drops in again.
6-12.
So misjudged again at the back of the court by Wei Nan. Maybe the chance for
Wei Nan.
Huang Yuxiang to come back in this game. Wei Nan just having a word with Buddy Sentosa, the umpire. That's another point to close the gap. 7-12, just firing it at the body of Wei Nan. Very, very difficult to return a shot when it's fired in at you. Wei Nan just having a chat with his coach, who's positioned in the left-hand corner of his side of the court. That's too long. Looks quizzically at Buddy Sentosa, but it was definitely too long. Well, maybe not. Maybe it did just land on the line. But anyway, the decision goes the way of Wong. 8-12, serves again. Out. So now it's a 3-point game. Doing well. Again, it's that shot aimed at the body, restricting the ability to return. And Wong this time just getting the touch wrong. Gentle lift over the net, and Wong was just trying to just help it back over, but just didn't give enough purchase. 13-9. And that's called long.
14.
14-9 in favour of Wei Nan. Oh, and that's another good smash.
15-9.
6-point margin opening up, 15-9. And he's given the time and the space to get underneath the shuttle. Wei Nan makes no mistake.
Play. Service over.
Once more we see a shot at the body from Huang Yuxiang, paying dividends, wins him back serve. That's a really, really good return. closer the net.
15.
To be able to make that drop as quickly. Wei Nan is a big man with a long reach, but he knew his cause was worthless.
Play.
Drops in as well.
12.
12-15. Another good run of points from Huang Yuxiang, who doesn't seem to panic. He was at one point 8 points down. And he clawed it back to 4. Now he finds himself just 3 points behind Wei Nan. Didn't get his racket on that though.
Service over. 16.
16 plays 12. Service back with Wei Nan. Straight away, Wong goes back to the body.
13. 16.
13 plays 16. Immediately aimed his first shot and the second. Wei Nan. And that's too long. Well, he did superbly to get the return from Wei Nan. It was aimed at his body back, but just pushing the return too far. 17 plays 13. That one drops in. His coach applauds.
17.
14 plays 17. Sure, the players wish they could do that, have the shuttlecock bounce back up in play. And that's out. A little bit of a fist raised from Wei Nan,
Service over. 18.
which
14.
is closer to taking the second game and forcing a deciding third. 18 plays 14. Wong had to scurry and couldn't keep
19.
the shuttle in court.
14.
19 plays 14. Fans continue to file into the Jidong Dome here in Balikpapan.
Service over.
Wong finally
50.
gets the point and the service back. 15-19. Needs to get some points. That high return, it dropped in again. Well, Wei Nan was in the perfect position to make the return. Comes back, just watches it, and then it just drops in. Well, that may be a crucial error of judgment.
Play.
16 plays 19. to the net it goes. The gap
17.
shortens. 17
19.
plays 19. Just over the net and just into the net. Fist pump from Huang Yuxiang. And now he's annoyed it's gone into the net. Wei Nan cheers.
20. Game point.
Game point in favour of the #1 seed, Wei Nan. Watch his reaction as that just clips the cord.
Play.
Crowd enjoyed it.
Out.
Wei Nan just letting that drop.
Service
It
over.
was not in play.
20.
So 18 plays 20. That was a very, very bold decision by Huang Yuxiang. It proved to be correct, but you don't often see players leaving a serve.
Game.
And it just catches the cord, and
Second game. Goodbye.
Wei Nan has claimed the
21,
second game, 21-18.
1 game all.
So it is one game apiece. A little bit fortunate, maybe. And maybe that is the little slice of luck Wei Nan needs to carry him through to victories. Now pulled himself back level. One game apiece, and it will go to a deciding game. Very different performance initially from Wei Nan in that second game. 18 minutes and 16 minutes. The two games. Good to see so many young children here watching as well. They are the future of the sport, and I'm not sure if it's still the case, but I know at one point badminton in Indonesia was ranked as the third most popular sport in the country. And when you look at the population of Indonesia, that is pretty big figures. Both players just changing their shirts.
Good one. 20 seconds. Good one. 20 seconds.
20 seconds before play will resume. Umpire very clear in his instructions to both players. Now requesting they make their way back out onto the court. Wei Nan he's just getting some cream just for his grip, just to make it a little bit easier to grip. Which way is this semi-final going to go?
Okay.
One game all.
Final game.
Can
Lobo.
Wei Nan, the #1
Play.
seed, dominate as he did in that second game? And once again we see
Service over.
Huang
1
Yuxiang
love.
opt to go for the body shot, and he gets his reward. That's going to drop out. So 2-love
2
in favour of
love.
Chinese player Huang Yuxiang. Wei Nan, who was born in mainland China but represents Hong Kong and was their first ever player to
3
win a major
love.
tournament. again into the net with his overhead. 3-love now to Huang Yuxiang. Again, just not enough touch to get the shuttle over the net. Requests a new shuttle, and it's 4-love now to Wong. It is a game of finite margins. That's too long. So finally, Wei Nan is on the board. That's too long, but again, it was a good demonstration by Wei Nan, just controlling the rally centre court, pulling Wong from one side of the court to the other, and then deep in the court, and then close up to the net. Two, four. Out. 3 plays 4. Fist pump again from Wei Nan. Not showing a great deal of emotion in this match, but when he turned to his coach, you feel something the coach pointed out and it came off. Time into the net, and now Wong has serve leading 5-3. Just a very well angled shot from Wong. Claims the point. Patient rally from both players. Just from over the head, making Wei Nan stretch. With Yan, 4-6, just 2 points between the two. And that was really, really powerful from Wei Nan. 5 plays 6. No chance for Wong. Turn isn't a good one, and so Wong wins back serve. 7-5. Real nip and tuck in this men's singles semi-final here at the Sunrise Indonesian Masters 2016. 6 plays 7. Neither player really taking control of this third game. And with serve, will he do so now? Drops in, misjudgment from Wong, sees us now at 7-all. Tied up. Just wonder whether players are actually losing the shuttle in the lights over the top of the court. As we've seen a couple of times them looking up as if to question something above. Wong wins serve back, 8-7. China leading Hong Kong. Just takes the cord and goes over, and Wong plays it into the net. So 8-all again. Sometimes luck just goes your way. In that rally was good by both players. Wei Nan, some of his stretches close to the net. Really, Huang, and you heard the squeal as he played that into the net, will be frustrated after working so hard. Such a simple mistake, costing a point and service. Got the angle wrong. So service goes back to Huang Yuxiang, and we're tied up at 9 apiece. Just asking for the court to be mopped. Third game in this men's semi-final. It's match 61 in the men's singles tournament. Wei Nan seeded 1. Huang Yuxiang seeded 12. The 32-year-old Hong Kong player taking on the 23-year-old Chinese player. The point and keeps serve. And into the net again. We're leveled up at 10 points all.
10-all.
The anguish on the face of Huang Yuxiang. The high serve this time. And Wei Nan goes for the smash, but Fires it straight into the net, so we'll go into the break, and it is
Interval.
Huang Yuxiang leading Wei Nan by 11 points to 10 in this, the third game. One game apiece in this semi-final. Wei Nan playing to keep Hong Kong's hopes alive, otherwise it will be an all-China men's singles final here with Shi Yuki and Zhao Junpeng in the other semi-final. That will be last game of the day on court 2.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So Fong's coach has already made his way from the court. Now Wei Nan's does. Two players pretty much on their own now for
Okay, come.
the next 10 points. Change of shuttle. Wong to serve. Well, Wei Nan did well to get back up onto his feet, but he couldn't keep the point alive. (12-10). Wei Nan wanting the court wiped where he fell. Wei Nan looking extremely pensive. Wong, who gives very little away facially. And that's out of court. Good play
Service over.
by Wei Nan.
11, 12.
11 plays 12. Wong just lost the shuttle in the air. Deep serve coming from Wei Nan. Sees the scores tied up again at 12 apiece. Wong fails to just lift the shuttle over the net. So Wei Nan takes the lead for the first time in this third game of this semi-final. Called good. He goes into a 2-point lead. And it was good. Right in the corner. And that's too long though.
Service over. 13, 14.
13 plays 14. Wong is far from out of reach. To the net it goes, and we're all tied up again at 14 points apiece. Shuttlecocks changing now with unbelievable regularity. Too long from Wong. So Wei Nan edges back ahead, 15-14. And again, the shuttle has changed. Interesting stat from the Olympic Games is they reckon they used over 8,400 shuttlecocks during the tournament. That was brilliant from Wei Nan. He had Huang turning from left to right, and then when the return went just that little bit higher, perfect position for an overhead smash. That could be the point that turns this game and the match in the favour of the #1 seed, Wei Nan. Huang Yuxiang just having a word with his coach down by the scoreboard. Can the young pretender find something? And once again, it just clips the net cord. Wong just trying to make him stretch, and it just caught the cord, which just affected the flight of the shuttle, and then he couldn't get it back as he tried to adjust his shot. So suddenly, with that little bit of fortune, Wei Nan finds himself 3 points to the good. Huang is going to fight back. He's won serve and has reduced it to a 2-point advantage to Wei Nan. Abdul Latif Jahari is being kept busy changing the shuttles. Both players now just toweling down. Umpire again giving them only as much time as it requires to wipe the sweat from their hands and just feel a little bit fresher. And Wong claims the next point. It's now just 1 point between these two. 16 plays 17. Another good smash directed directly at Wei Nan. And that was brilliant. Wei Nan, just the deception, because for a split second, Wong thought this was going to go deeper, and that's why he started moving to the back of the court. 18 plays 16. Wei Nan with serve. That's wide. So Huang continues to hang in there. Gets some encouragement from his coach. This would be a really good victory for Huang Yuxiang if he can get over the line. Just one major victory to his name at the moment, the New Zealand Open in 2016. And that's in. And he walks disconsolately to the back of the court to retrieve the shuttle. Just misjudged that, or was it just the quality of the return? 19-17. Well, that is fighting spirit if ever you saw it. 19-18 and 18-19 now with Wong to serve. Just nipping that over the net. Wei Nan wasting time. He wanted to towel, but the umpire said you've had plenty of time to do that. As he was meandering around the back of the court, Huang Yuxiang to serve. And into the net it goes, and a fist pump from Huang Yuxiang. He's leveled it up at 19 points apiece. Huang Yuxiang to serve. Wei Nan just walking away. Umpire just having a quiet word. I think he felt that there was a bit of a dummy from Huang Yuxiang. Wei Nan put his hand up, now brings it back down. And what a return that was. It's a return that means that Wei Nan has game and match point and serve. Well, if Huang's nerves were going to be tested, this will be the moment. That's wide, and Huang is still alive in this game and this match. Tied up at 20 all. Definitely too long from Wei Nan. Just turns to his coach, Huang Yuxiang, and the fist pump. He has serve. Lives to fight another day. 20 points all. Well, there were some brilliant returns from Wei Nan in that rally, but in the end, he couldn't return that final shot. Just the pace was too much. So now it is Wei Nan who needs to pull something out of his vast repertoire. And again, he goes for a bit of a walk, then asks if he can go and towel down. All a little bit of gamesmanship. Huang Yuxiang says, well, if you're going to towel down, so will I. His coach watches on nervously from the scoreboard. Huang Yuxiang to serve for the game and the match. It's long. Well, was there a touch? I have to say, I thought that there was a touch on the racket of Huang, but it's been decided by the umpire that there wasn't. And so Huang Yuxiang has knocked over the #1 seed. Immediately he ran over to celebrate with his coach.
Match won by Wang.
That was a great return low to his left. No, he left it. So there was no touch, and then it was called long. And it was long. So well done, the official. And well done, Huang Yuxiang. What a comeback and what a show of ice in the veins. Had to really claw his way back. At one point was trailing 14 points to 12, but it is Huang Yuxiang who's victorious in the men's singles semi-final over Wei Nan. 21-11, 18-21 and 22-20. Two games down on court #1 in the mixed doubles. It was Malaysia victorious 2-0 over the Indonesian pairing, and then what a game we've just witnessed in the men's singles with the #1 seed Wei Nan being knocked out by Huang Yuxiang. Next up on court #1, it is going to be another great match because it is the #4 seeds from Korea taking on the #2 seeds from Indonesia. Following that, we'll have the women's singles and the men's mixed doubles. Looking at the way these teams got to the semi-finals, And it was a rather easier journey for Harris and Putri from Indonesia because they were given a walkover